So, well, I hope that's the beginning. Okay, so we are going to work on sampling and surveying, and what else was in here? So much stuff. So let's get some sampling. Not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. Pretty philosophical, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That was Albert Einstein. He was smart. All right, so our learning goals is to understand the importance of choosing a representative sampling and become familiar with several common methods of sampling. So some definitions. A census. Ready? It's a collection of data from every member of the population. And I know this sounds like a silly, really easy question, but census, what do you guys know about census?
The government
Survey.
What kind of?
The government uses it to keep up on the population.
And it's a survey. And yes, that's the big thing. It's the population. It's like a collection of data from every member of the population. All right. Anybody else want to type something in the chat box if you want to, share about census? What do you know about a census?
They're every 4 years.
Every 4 years? What else?
That was every year.
No, it's not every year.
No,
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
It might be every 10.
Every 10 years?
Every 10 years they take a census of everybody in the country so that they know how many people are there. And, okay. A sampling is a collecting data from just part of the population. All right, whoops, okay. Representative sample is a sample in which relevant characteristics of the sample members are generally the same as the characteristics of the population. So give me an example of a representative sample.
Eye color.
So if we
Eye
say,
color.
say what?
Eye color.
Eye color.
Oh, somebody pushed something in the chat box.
A survey of what social media sites teens use. That's what a survey would be, but a representative sample. So who would you give that survey to? Like, if your sample is just part of the population, so we'll say that our sample is just males. All right, what is a representative sample? And Jordan said people with blue eyes or people with blonde hair. What are the advantages and disadvantages of collecting data using a census?
Sometimes people, like in the government census, a lot of people won't participate.
A lot of people don't participate, yes, or people can lie. It's not always completely accurate. Good. All of those things are good. What is the advantage and disadvantages of collecting data using just a representative sample?
It doesn't represent the whole population.
It doesn't represent the whole population. Good. Anything else?
Nope.
Nope. That's good. All right, how will you know if a sample represents the population? How do you know? Anybody?
You're the people that fills it out.
Well, you could get a sample from one part of the state, and then in the other part of the state it's completely different. And or there's like if you're doing a sample, representative sample, is a sample.
How do you know if the sample represents that population? So, let's think. I just had one in my head and it went away. So if you have like a sample, if you have all men, and I'm just thinking males, okay? And then from those males, you pick individuals randomly. Wouldn't that sort of represent that population?
Yes.
A lot better than if I said, okay, just you guys with blue eyes. Okay? Make sense? Okay. I don't like all that. Always coming back. So, what is a census? Every 10 years, Kate, and you were right. It's mandatory by the U.S. Constitution. So the next one is in 2010. It's your participation is required by law. So, you know, a lot of people don't participate. I don't know what that would do, but it takes less than 10 minutes to complete the form. And I think, don't they send out the forms?
Yeah,
At
it's
your
by
house.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
They send them out by mail, and you
But-
just fill them out. Go
But
ahead.
wouldn't it make sense to like account for all like the homeless people and the people that live out of their cars and stuff like that? Like,
Yes.
They probably do like a mathematical like if there's like 40 hobos per capita, then there's like
That's
this
a lot
and
of
this many.
hobos.
There's
I
a
wonder,
lot.
I don't know what they do. That's a good question. I never thought of
I'll
that.
have to ask Mr. Bailey because he's into this civics.
Oh, good, yeah, maybe he, yeah. Hey, when you ask him, let me know what he
Right.
says. Because I don't know about what do they do with the homeless people?
Yeah. Like, do they even count them? Like, they have to. 'Cause
They
they're
have
people.
to, right, they have to because they have to know how many
Maybe
people.
call them
Yeah.
what they are people.
Okay, so
If they
federal
smell
law
it.
protects your personal information, so anything you write down on that form is private. Okay, it used to, data used to distribute to congressional seats to the states to make decisions about community services to provide, to distribute $300 billion in federal funds to local, state, and government. So, yeah, this census tells you how many, you know, congressional people you're going to have, like, in Colorado, because it tells you how many people live in Colorado. Okay, what about bias? Let's talk about bias.
Oh, yeah.
Opinion.
It's
Someone
opinion.
favors one thing more than the other.
Someone is going to favor one thing more than the other. So statistical studies suffer from bias if it's designed to conduct, designed or conduct tends to favor certain results. So, Elliot, say what you said again.
Bias means you favor one thing over the other.
Favor one thing over another. So, when can bias occur?
All the time.
All the time? Give me a specific example.
Like if you just look at someone, you can just say, "I don't like your glasses," and like that's a biased view, because I don't like you for what you wear.
For what he's wearing, but somebody else could be like, hey, man, those are cool glasses. I
I
like
don't glasses. Though. I do like the glasses. Though.
Okay. You guys should turn on your mic so that everyone can hear. They don't think that I'm just.
Okay.
Everyone in this room, you can't.
Testing.
There you go.
Hi.
Okay.
Testing, testing.
Brittany, you can turn yours on too. Did you turn yours on? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. I'm going to be turning them off here in a minute. Okay. So, when can bias occur? When members of the sample differ in some specific way, or members of the population, from members of the population. Like Elliot was saying, because in this room, Jordan is the only one wearing glasses. So maybe we all have a bias against people wearing glasses. You know, or Caden's hair is blonde. Maybe we have a bias against blonde hair people. So there you go.
She said turn it on, Mike.
Okay, guys.
What you said,
I want you guys to know that there's people in this room that are talking, so that you don't think that I'm just ignoring. Okay. So when else can a bias occur? When a researcher has personal stake in the outcome. I wonder, can I turn mine down? All right. So guys, turn your mics off, and then when you talk, turn them on.
Yes, ma'am.
Good?
Is it off?
Thank you guys.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, and you guys over there too, Mike and John. Who else is over there? Jalen. When you guys talk, turn on your mic so that I know what you're saying. Okay. So when a researcher has a personal stake, so if for some reason I had a stake, oh my gosh, who does this to me?
Technology.
Who's doing it?
Okay, so even when a study is done well, it may be reported. Okay, I am going to just totally screen here.
Just press spacebar. Or, right, I think?
Got it. Okay, so sampling methods. These are,
What the heck?
Who's doing that?
Stop it.
thank you. How do I go back? Here we go.
No, you actually want to go back. And you can't. Whoever's doing that better stop.
That's so annoying. I'm going to make everybody,
Is it just doing it on its own?
No, somebody's doing it.
somebody's got to be doing it.
Who's doing that?
Okay, so random sample, systematic sampling, convenience sampling, cluster sampling, and stratified sampling.
Oh my god.
Do it. Whoever's doing that.
You guys, we're going to be in here longer than you.
Yeah, and I gotta go, alright? So, nobody touch your keyboard. Like Mike said. Good idea.
Okay.
Hands up, like a roller coaster.
All right, summary of sampling methods. Boy, did we already go through all of them? No. So keep in mind that there are 3 key ideas. The study can be successful only if the sample is representative of the population. So that would mean sort of like just picking people, like if you're using all males, you just, out of the 500 males that you see, you just pick out 20. That would be a more representative sample. A biased sample is unlikely to be a representative sample, and
Wouldn't the bias sample be like, if you're Mexican, you can't, because immigrants, like if you're an illegal immigrant, you can't take the census because you don't count as a human being in our country.
that would be biased, yes. Even a well-chosen sample
Very,
may still turn out to be unrepresentative just because of bad luck.
yeah.
So, just depending on how you're drawing. All right, so summary of sampling. Simple random sampling. This is definitions. And so when you're going through your lessons, your practices, you're going to have to answer questions about this. So just make sure if you don't get it now, you go back and listen, okay? Every sample of the same size has an equal chance of being selected, and computers are often used to generate.
Who keeps doing that?
To generate random numbers. So systematic sampling is when you're looking at, you have like 20 people and you pick every 3rd person. Convenience sampling, that's just like if I were to take a survey of just the people in the room, that's a convenience for me, anything that's readily available. Cluster sampling, it's when you divide the population into clusters and then randomly select some of those clusters, and then you choose all the members in the cluster.
How do you take them off as the presenter?
I'll figure that one out. Okay, stratified. Partition the population into at least 2 strata and then draw a sample from each.
So
like
you
you have
basically take a
male
group
or female?
from a group.
A group from a group. Good.
So like you have a group of females and you take a group from those females.
That's right.
Or you do the same thing with men.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay, this is not.
This is becoming
Okay,
Alright, go ahead,
correlation.
Joe.
We got like 10 minutes. So in a Gallup poll, surveyors ask this question: do you believe correlation implies causation? So if 64% of Americans say yes, 38% replied no, 8 were undecided. Correlation implies causation. What does that all mean? If you look at the comic down here, this, I don't know, do you guys ever read Dilbert?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes.
So the boss comes in and says, someone sent me an anonymous email with a link to an article about the world's worst bosses. And it happens every time the boss goes into Dilbert's office.
Really?
This is not Jordan Mike.
It's not touching. Okay, so what this boss is thinking is that Dilbert is sending him this email when really it's this other guy, because they're in cubicles. So correlation does not always imply. Okay, right. Correlation tells us two variables are related. The types of relation reflected in correlation. X causes Y and Y causes X. All right, that's causal. And spurious, it's when X and Y are caused by a third variable. Okay, so that spurious actually means false. It means not true. So in order to imply causation, a true experiment must be performed where subjects are randomly assigned to different conditions. So what can you think when you think about this part down here? To imply causation, true experiment must be performed where subjects are randomly assigned to different conditions. Think about something like that. What kind of thing can that happen? What kind of experiment? Subjects are randomly applied to different conditions. What can you think about happening there? Thinking about an experiment.
Oh, what is the question?
What kind of experiment where people are randomly selected and you give each person two different things or three different things?
We learned with Miss Lucci, we heard about this experiment that some Russians did, and they captured like 5 people, and they put them
Is
in
it gross?
No,
I don't know. I've
no,
never heard of
that was it. It was a bunch of college students were randomly selected to do an experiment, and they simulated a prison in the basement of the college, and they selected inmates and guards out of them just to do that.
Okay. Thing that I'm kind of thinking of is like when you go into for an experiment and they're going to give part of the people a placebo and part of the people the real, drug to cure whatever's wrong with you. All right, does that make sense? Okay. All right. Holy cow, I don't even remember where I am now.
You're in that one.
Okay. So correlation versus causation examples. Correlations between workers' educational level and wages is strongly positive. Is that true? The more educated you are, the more money you make?
Yes.
That's
No.
not necessarily true.
No.
I made more money than what?
Okay.
And
And I'm stupid.
You don't have a high school education yet, right? No, you're not stupid, but I mean,
I haven't graduated high school yet,
right.
so I don't even have the lowest level of education I can have to survive in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is a positive sort of direct, I don't know, positive correlation, but it's not necessarily strongly positive, right? So does this mean that education causes higher wages? No.
Well, it gives you the ability. Gives you the choice.
Gives you the choice. You can make more money. Opportunity, that's a good. Okay, so education improves skills and skilled workers.
No.
Really?
False.
Well, you're kind of being educated when you learn something.
Yeah.
So,
So-
yes.
The more you learn, the more money you make,
education
right?
causes- Well, you don't, like, if you're working at a record store, you don't need a big education to work there. You know what I mean?
True,
But
but
they teach you about how to
Oh, you're
arrange.
talking about any type of learning, not just
yeah,
school
what
learning.
about learning about all the different musicians
So yes.
all the different types of music?
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah. What just happened?
and somebody else is writing on us? I don't know. Individuals are born with a quality which is relevant for success in education and on the job. Quality, not education, causes wages to go up. And that's kind of true, right? Because the more you know, I guess.
That's true, causes drama.
Okay, therefore ice cream sales.
Oh, you're just saying that just as a...
If someone says ice cream sales are strongly correlated with deaths from drowning, well, if you think about it, there's a lot of ice cream that gets sold on the beaches, right?
Yeah.
Or gets sold when you go to swimming pools.
I see what you
Yeah,
did there.
yeah. So ice cream sales and the incidence of polio are correlated. I don't know about that. This is something that I've seen a lot. Skirt lengths and stock prices are highly correlated. So if stocks go up, skirt lengths go up. I don't know if that's true or not. I've just seen it a bunch of
It seems
places.
like that's true.
The number of cavities at elementary school and the vocabulary size are strongly correlated. Makes no sense. Cavities and no. Okay, so without proper interpretation, causation should not be assumed or even implied. Okay, this is gonna drive me crazy. So when we imply causation, when controlled experiments are performed, controlled experiments.
What phone is that? Is it your phone?
Oh,
I don't have a phone. It's not me.
Not
all right,
mine.
guys. I guess I had a phone. Okay.
I guess this whole time
All right, guys, this is really annoying. So
Stop
biased. You guys have your mics on?
I know.
Systematic random deviation of results and interference from the truth. So this is what a bias is. We've already kind of discussed it. We're never going to get to the questions, guys, if you keep that up.
Yeah. I will. I gotta go, so I would much appreciate it if no one touches the keyboard. So we got some people got places to be.
Okay, thank you.
What is that noise?
I bet someone's on the computer outside because you know those like crickets.
Like, you don't think somebody could be out there messing with the computer, do you?
I don't know.
Oh, you're right.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
So we talked about bias, right?
Yes.
Bias can be either conscious or unconscious. So, you know, even if in the back of your mind you think of something that you really, really, really like, that's kind of a bias, right? I really, really, really like chocolate. So for some, you know, any kind of survey that I would do, somehow or another, I would like to incorporate chocolate and make everybody, you know, love chocolate.
Yeah.
So, confounding. So, a problem resulting from the fact that one feature of the study subject has not been,
Okay.
separated from the second feature and thus has confounded it, okay? Producing spurious. Again, spurious means false. What are you doing? Okay.
Just chilling.
All right, the difference between bias and confounding. Bias creates an association that's not true, but confounding describes an association that is true.
So confounding is.
Confounding is saying that plant's green. Biased is saying I don't like that plant.
There you go. Good. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Lastly, that's it, guys. I really got to figure out who's messing with my.
This is getting on my nerves.
This doesn't
All
have
right.
any other question.
If you have no
This never happened
questions,
before. No question.
No questions.
I have a comment. Let's get caught up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have a lovely day.
We will.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
End the meeting.
Webinar out.
Webinar out.
It's over.
Oh, wait. Come on, stop.